Hi jewelry makers, we're going to make a sweet little wrap bracelet today. I got these Czech Super Duos in magic blue pink at 2.5 by 5 millimeter, and I think they are so spectacular. The camera really isn't doing them justice. Hopefully the edited video will. So I designed this bracelet off these Super Duos, and I got them for $1.49 on clearance, regular $5.99. So that's a great deal. Such a good deal. You can't even see the price. What's going on here? Anyway, so I got some Czech fire polish beads for 74 cents a strand, which a good deal. And but let's get a material list going. I've got the pink metallic, I think it was fuchsia maybe, or magenta, Czech fire polish beads in 3 millimeter. The ones we got in the dollar bead bag this month. The 1 by 2 millimeter crystal rondelles, a long strand we got in the dollar bead box this month. This is the third project I've made with them, so they definitely went a long way. And then the Czech Super Duos and the Toho galvanized perma-finished 11.0 seed beads. I will never use those ones that aren't perma-finished again. And I've got a 6-pound nanofill with a stop bead with about a 6 to 8 inch tail, and a size 10 beading needle. So get your stuff together, come back, and we'll get started. Alright, so we're going to pick up and make sure that, you know, there's 2 holes drilled in your Super Duos. Pick up 6. Bring them down to the stop bead. And then we're going to go up through that bead right by the stop bead and go through the same holes we went through when we picked them up and pull them down. And then let's just go back through and reinforce. Making sure to hit every hole, if not it'll lay funny. We're making little daisies. I'm still just reinforcing, going through that bottom hole on all the beads. Okay, and once we get 2 beads past the stop bead, we will pick up one of our 1 by 2 millimeter rondelles and count 3 beads over and go down through the same way your thread's coming out, that bottom hole, the holes we've been working out of. See, right there. Come on. And pull, and that little crystal rondelle should pop right in the center of your flower. Right like that. and then go through the next super duo, the bottom hole, and then you're going to jump in that same bead. You're going to jump up through the top hole and pull. And now we're ready to pick up 5 more super duos. You're coming out of this side of the hole. You want to go to the opposite side. Come out. Pull, and then reinforce by going through all the holes again. Get down. Go through all the holes again of this flower. All right. Well, at some point, did I go through the top hole with this? No. Okay. Oh, it just flipped around. Okay. So we're coming out of that second bead right here. Okay, see? They're coming out right here. Just pick up a 1x2 millimeter crystal and jump over and go down through that bead that's diagonal. Take care that it goes in the center of your flower. Now you're coming out the bottom hole, jump up into your top hole, that middle petal, and then pick up 5 and do that all over again. Make one more and come back and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, we're coming out. We've got 3 flowers made. We're coming out of the top hole of the top bead. Okay, we're going to pick up a 3mm fire polish and go down through, see which side, whichever side your thread's coming out of, go down that side, and the top hole of the very next super duo, go through it, pull it down tight, and you should have a 3mm sitting right here in the corner. Then we're going to pick up an 11/0, and we're going to go down through the top bead, or the top hole of the next super duo. Pick up an 11/0, go down through the top hole of the next super duo, pick up an 11/0, down through the top hole of the next super duo. Pick up an 11-0. Go down through the top hole of the next super duo. Pick up an 11-0. Do the same thing. Go down through the top hole of the next super duo. Taking care to hold your tail thread back. Pick up a 3mm fire polish. Go through the top hole of the next super duo. We're putting these only in the corners. Okay. Pick up another 3mm. Go down through the top hole of that next super duo, putting that 3mm bead in that corner. Pick up an 11-0 and go through the top hole of the next super duo. Pick up an 11-0. Go through the top hole of that next super duo. Pick up an 11-0. Go through the top hole of that next super duo. Pick up an 11-0. Go through the top hole of that next super duo. Pick up an 11-0. Top hole, that next super duo, and pull, and this is the last corner. We're going to pick up a 3mm fire polish and go through the top hole of that next super duo. And there's our little rectangular component with the 3 flowers in the center. It's kind of hard to see with these colored beads. If you used solid color, it would probably be a lot more striking, and you'd be able to see the actual flowers better, especially on camera. But so we're coming through that top hole of that super duo. So we are going to pick up a super duo. We are going to go down through that second hole in our super duo where I'm holding it right here. Alright, and then I want to go back through that top hole that we were working out of. Go back through that top hole, the super duo, not the one we just added, but the one we were coming out of to begin with. Then come back up that left hole, the new super duo. We're adding it on like this, sideways. Along that flower. Pick up an 11-0 and another super duo. Bring them down. Come down through that second hole of that super duo. Pick up an 11-0. And come down through that next super duo and add that, and then add the 11-0 and super duo. Then come up on the left side up through the super duo, the 11-0 super duo, the left side of them. You can't get it, there we go. Okay, pick up an 11-0 super duo, hold it, needle down through that hole, the second hole or the right hole on that super duo. For me it would be, because I'm right-handed. Pick up an 11-0 and needle down through that right hole on the super duo underneath it, and then go up through the left side, the super duo, 11-0 super duo. Alright, we've added 3. Now we need to add one more. Pick up an 11-0, a super duo, come down through that super duo on the right, picking up a 11-0 seed bead, going down through the right side of that super duo underneath. Make sure it's nice and tight and straight, and then jump over and go up through that super duo seed bead, super duo on the left side. Okay, now we want to go back to our flower components. So let's pick up the super duo. We're coming out of one side of this super duo. Let's jump down into the next side and catch a seed bead underneath. We'll make it a little more secure. Go up on the right side and catch that 11-0 and the super duo. Go back through the bottom hole of the super duo we're adding, and we want to go back down through and reinforce. Back down through super duo and 11-0, jump over to the right, 11-0 super duo, and the super duo we just added in the bottom hole. And then we want to jump up to the top hole of that super duo, and we're ready to add our 5 more petals. Let's pick up 5 super duos. It's easier to, well, you have to wait until you get all 3 made before you can go around the edges and fill it in with your seed beads and your 3mm. So let's just reinforce. Just reinforce, going through the same holes, the bottom holes of the super duos you've been working out of. Go up through that the first one to your right. Pick up your crystal rondelle, jump over to your first one on the left, and your thread both coming out this way, the same way, just as long as your thread's going the same way, you can pretty much put these on anywhere you want, whichever first or second petal, as long as you go the same way. And then go through that top super duo. Oh, that's not top, this one is, I believe. Let's see. Yes. Go through the next, nope, the bottom hole. You want to make sure to keep these straight, because it won't work out with the seed beads and the 3mm unless there's one petal bottom, one petal top, and two on each side. Okay, that's the way they're going to lay. Then go through the top hole of your top super duo. Then you would pick up 5 more super duos. Your thread's coming out on this side. You want to go through this side of that top super duo. And then you want to, of course, reinforce around the daisy, the bottom holes. Something happened, I feel like. I mean, I can't find the problem here, but it feels like something's going on. Something's not jiving here. It's a piece of thread, for one. Let me fix it. I'll be right back. You won't even know it's gone. There we are. It was just a piece of thread wrapped around a bead. It's never, it's never a big deal, but it turns into one if we don't go back and fix it before we go too far. Alright, so come down through that first bead on that side. We'll go ahead and put our crystal in. Pick up a crystal rondelle, jump over, and go down through that first hole in that first bead on the other side. Don't want to stay on this side, does it? And then pull, make sure your crystal pops in the right way, and then continue to go around the flower until you get to the top petal, and make one more. Make one more flower unit, picking up 5 super duos and going through the opposite side of this bead that you're coming out. So go ahead and do that. Come back, and we'll go over how to do how to finish it off. Okay, let's pick up. We're coming out of this top super duo top hole. We're going to pick up a 3mm fire polish, come down through the top bead, and the top hole, that super duo, and then we're going to pick up 11/0 after that, and go down through the top holes of the following super duos. 1, 2, 3, four, and one more, 5. So it'll be 5 on each, 5 11s on each side. And then pick up a 3mm. I'm going to go through the top hole, that bottom, and that top super duo on the bottom of that unit. And then we're going to go pick up another 3mm. These metallic 3mm, a lot of them are kind of hard to get through. I have to ream out the holes probably, some of them. So go up through that top hole, and then 5 11s, 1, go through the top hole, and the next super duo, pick up an 11. Go through that top hole, that next super duo, 11. I'm doing this with you again because I want to do one more step before I turn you loose. Top hole with the next super duo, and one more 11. And then pick up the 3mm. And go through the top hole, that next super duo, and the 3mm if you can get through it. Alright. And then I want you to come down all the way down the side. On the outside. The top holes and the 11s. Down through that 3mm on the bottom. And then I want you to go through that right hole of that super duo on that 11. If you can get through it. There we go. Then jump over into that 11. Super duo. Let's see. I came up. What happened? No, I went through a piece of thread that I caught a piece of thread when I came up through. Alright. Now go up through that next 3mm. And what that does is it tightens them right there, but it also pulls them down tight to where it's not real a lot of distance. It brings it up closer. And personally, I think it looks better and it's more secure. So, and then just go all the way up this other side. And once you get to the top, through that middle super duo, the top bead, once you get up through this middle super duo, top bead, then you know you pick up your super duo and lay it sideways and come down through it. If you have to rewind, go back to watch how I did it. And what you're going to do is just make it as long as you want it. 1 wrap, 2 wraps, 3 wraps, however long you want it. Then come back and we will do the clasps. Okay, we're going to put the clasps on. So I've got enough to where mine wraps twice, and I've put one side of the clasp on here. I'm using a small 1-strand box clasp. So I've got one side on here, and what I did was on each side I ended with the 3 flowers and then just 2 of the sideways super duos, just 2, and I'm coming up out of one of the holes of the super duo, and so I'm going to pick up 1 seed bead, and then I'm going to pick up my clasp, and 1 seed bead, and then we're going to go down through that next hole with that super duo. And then we'll come down this 11 seed bead and then the next super duo, just to make sure it's on good and tight and reinforced, and then we'll go up through the next hole, that super duo, and back up through the 11 seed bead and the following super duo. I've got work being done outside. If you hear anything, apologize. So I'm going to get this clasp on really fast, up through the 11 and then back through the hole. Of your clasp, and back down through that 11 and super duo 11 and keep going through and reinforcing your clasp. That's very important. And come back and we will look at our bracelet. Here we are with the finished bracelet. And not only made this bracelet, I made this one. This one with the solid color. You can see the flowers and it looks like railroad tracks. I think I might call this Crystal Tracks Bracelet. And I'll show you what it looks like kind of on. And these would be good to stack also. And I made this This is the color is Crystal Helio. It's got the silver and kind of a grayish black and blue. Pops the blue throughout, and it looks pretty on. And these ones I put a simple jump rings, and this one I put and I forget what this is called. This is in a lobster, but it's a round closure. And this one, of course, I used the little box clasp. And this one I used a lobster claw. So it really doesn't matter what kind of clasp you use on these. They're small, you know, they're pretty petite, and like I said, stackable. I did notice if you want the bigger, you know, more bulky flowers or just bracelet in general, you'll want to use to the super duos because there's considerable difference in size. See, between the two. But that's it. I hope you guys make the Crystal Tracks bracelet and stack them up. And that's what I plan on doing, is making a bunch and stacking them together. Thanks for watching, everybody.